Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is Battle Angel Alita, Last Order, Volume 10. So we are finally past the halfway point. Wow. This is also, yeah, I did check beforehand. This is, in fact, the cover of Volume 10 that they're using for the Volume 4 Omnibus. So I can just look directly at it to figure out, like, what is this going to be about? I assume this has to be Trinidad, you know, Mumbadi. Or, like, but, you know, cybertized. And then this is Alita's cyber form. And yeah, they're still in the virtual world, so I have to assume that, like, now that Fata Morgana's in play, the battlefield's going to be a bit... I'm not going to say that Alita has the higher ground now, but it might be more even when it comes to the hacker versus hacker conflict here. I don't really know how this is going to explode, though. Like, I feel like this can't be as simple as just getting Lou's brain and then just running out. There's no way, right? I feel like something has to go wrong, things have to get a whole lot bigger. But I'm not totally sure where the avenue for that lies. It's possible that while Alita's doing all this, maybe Zeex and the rest of the Battle Angels, or no, Space Angels, maybe they'll be able to actually win the tournament, and then they just have a new principality of their own. Actually, I was saying that as kind of a joke, but that's very possible. Like, that's the only thing I can think of, because the Zot seems like it's supposed to be like a minor thing, but now that we're reaching the end of the whole hacking thing, I feel like that's the only thing we can do, really, is just go back into the Zot at full force to see who really wins. Anyways, enough speculation. Desti's here as well. It's got his signature flan. Alright, not going to really look at that because I've already seen it. I will say, though, I love the aesthetics of this. Oh, it's so cool. This seems like a new character. I don't remember him from any of the other teams. All right. Phase 46, or 56, sorry. Flan is Fate. Okay, so we're going back to Tifra's for a short bit. Oh, that's right. Okay, so I forgot about this. I forgot that Desti is, like, constantly being revived. And I assume that's why he's here. Like, perhaps we will get to see a revived Desti. But we already have Mini Desti, or, like, what did they call him before? You know, Pocket Desti. So, oh man. Like, as... I have such mixed feelings about this. This is so very cruel to do to someone, but at the same time, it's not like he remembers this. Like, it's not like he has a shared memory of what's going on here. But at the same time, like, it is Desti being constantly tortured and destroyed. Plus, there's two of them. Like, you've got his normal head, and then I like that they kept in specifically the second head in his chest, or in his lower abdomen. So, something about this just feels wrong. If only there were boys around to do this. Okay. Oh, I mean, we've spent quite a while in the flashback, so I guess this makes sense, and we should probably recap things. Alright, to solve this world's mysteries, to recover a friend. That was 3 months ago. 2 weeks after they left, right? They found Nova in the cocoon. New cocoon was found with another Nova growing inside. Okay. Stereostomy, the airborne regeneration machine. Right. Like, we didn't have this name before, but he did explain this process. Wait, really? It regrows the biochip as well. I was gonna say, like, I figured that he would be chipless as a result of this. Or, like, all the clones would be chipless. Because then that would be a nice contrast between a chipless Nova and then the Nova that's just kind of being walked around with. And then I believe... yeah, I believe that Trinidad currently has the 2 remaining chips. Or is it just 1? I think it might just be 1. Yeah, because he said he wanted to integrate 1 within his brain to... I don't remember what his new nickname was going to be. Quattro? Something like that. So I assume he might just have 1. Oh boy, we could get a lot of Destis in this case because, like, there's already potentially 2 there. And then if one of these clones manages to revive in a way where they can't kill it, that would be 3. Too many Destis. Oh wow, this is so cool. She really is connecting the world again. Yeah, you don't have to be a cyborg to live down there. Huh? Oh. We don't recall doing that. And I doubt that Chaos is lying about it. Like, I doubt that he hacked them. So it has to be a third... Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! He did it! That vile laughter! It can't be! Flan stands for harmony. Would you like one too? Oh no. So, because as I recall him saying, I'm pretty sure he said that it only makes one of him at a time. And so you should be able to just keep on destroying the clones indefinitely. So either this was made through a different process, or he has a backup where, like, if 10 clones are destroyed within, like, 2 weeks, then spawn 2 clones at once, or something like that. He's not due for 6 days! Oh. After all, flan is power. If you kill me, Nova X. Who knows what will happen to the kids and the others who ate my flan? Oh boy. Yeah, you probably shouldn't trust him, but at the same time, he's not going to be that dangerous. But you still shouldn't trust him. This is true though, like, he can't join ladder at this point, so he's got motivation to, like, not betray this group. Flan is fate. Right now, no one else on Earth can stand up to them. All for flan and flan for all. Alright. So, as always, we've got to put our trust in Nova. What is this strip? To be fair, this isn't, like, any worse than his usual strips. Or his other, like, omake strips, I should say. I mean, I assume that's why he put it in here, even though it was rejected for Volume 7. The Origin of This World. Okay, that's quite the title. We've got Jack Drombo here again. Alright. Space Angels versus Gun Trolls. That was one heck of a fight. Starship Cult versus Keats. Obviously, Starship Cult won. Okay, I don't think we saw these guys at all. Metal Hearts versus Saturn Gaudis. Saturn Gaudis eke out a victory. I love the way that Scavengers is written here. Like, they really do feel like they're going to be some sort of, like, super robot pastiche. Oh yeah, okay. So, I guess they did have to suspend the matches after that. Fair enough. Fair enough. Then Wild Guns versus Saturn Gaudis. The Gaudis give up and the Wild Guns win. Makes sense. Like, the Gaudis seem very goofy, sort of. Whereas the Wild Guns, it's really interesting that we keep not seeing what they look like. Like, all we see is the scope. That's pretty exciting. Oh no! Aw, I was really hoping for the Space Scavenger Squad to win. I really love super robots and tokusatsu, like Super Sentai. Oh man. Darn it. Oh well, I guess the Space Karate Force has moved to round 3. Wait, what? The entire arena explodes. Anomaly survives. That's... because they left it ambiguous as to who made the arena explode. It could have been GeoGigas and Anomaly could just have super powerful defense, or that could have been like a suicide move where one of their teammates managed to survive. Alright, Space Angels versus Wild Guns. Ooh, and they're still shadowed out. It's still a total mystery what they're like. Aw, Elf and Swolf have lost their will to fight. It's just Zeex. Only Zeex remains. Wait, so is Zeex... oh my god, is it literally just him in this tournament now? Like, I was waiting for them to say that they brought in, like, an alternate or something from somewhere. But no, is it just him? You didn't count how many rounds at a rifle shot, did ya? I hope he's trying to fake him out, though. I feel like there's gotta be 1 bullet left, right? Am I out of ammo, or is he bluffing? Okay, this really feels like a bluff. It really does. Like, wasting 1 bullet, I feel like that's not that big of a deal. So I think he is trying to make it a bluff. Trade my gun with yours. I'll empty every single bullet into your brain. Ah, this is such a cool standoff. Oh my god. That is absolutely amazing. Zeex, like Toji, manages to beat all 5 by himself. What a man. My god. Alright, and now we're going back to cyberspace. Actually, I don't know if I'll be able to bring this up until later, so I guess I'll just say it now, because it's been kind of weighing on my mind. One of my best friends, honestly, at this point. Tequila Zaku, I believe he's, like, if he posts in the comments, you'll recognize him as the owner 5X. He brought up this interesting idea, which is that Alita is very much a person who is driven by what she's lost, or rather, she's trying to regain what she's lost. And I mean, that's pretty obvious. But he contrasted that with Zeex, whose entire character arc seems to be around, like, getting something that is his own. Like, not just finding himself, but specifically finding, like, something that he can call his own. Something that he didn't lose, something he never had, just something brand new. And I think that's a really interesting contrast. I feel like I had more to say about that, but I guess I'll just bring it up for now, and then if we get more Zeex stuff in the rest of this volume, I'm sure it'll rejigger my minds. Okay, so it's not really Carla. You see the origin of this world? Okay, I thought we were going to go deeper when the chapter title said origin of this world. But okay, I mean, that was definitely the origin of this world. They reflect the wishes and hopes of the people who made them. Like, I think that is genuinely way more tragic than if it was some sort of, like, machine designed with evil intentions, because it's not. It is legitimately something that someone made with the intent to make the world better, and it didn't quite work out. I've searched for one worthy enough to entrust with the Fata Morgana. What can it do, though? Like, what exactly does that entail? It seems like it can shut down the system, but can it do anything else? 'Cause I'm cute. Oh my gosh. One thing that I don't give Alita enough credit for is the comedy. Like, as heavy a series as it can be, it nevertheless manages to be incredibly entertaining all the time. Okay, the only one who is trustworthy is an outsider. I can see that. Like, before, Carla was an outsider by virtue of being a vampire. But over the years and years and years, she has, like, it seems like she's mellowed out. Like, she's taking care of the gun troll now. So I guess it makes sense that someone like Alita, who is the permanent outsider, and especially because, like, Carla doesn't know this, but because she is the main character, like, she is the one who has the most karmic power over the universe. Because of that, it makes a lot of sense that she should have the Fata Morgana. Right, it implies an evolutionary dead end, a mark of decline. Portable Nova, that's what they called him. The future of humanity is in your hands. How heavy is that? And of course, they're both like, oh, I'll take it, I'll take it. You misjudge me, how so? I can be invincible within my limited reach, but that's also all I can take responsibility for. What a really cool shot! Wow! I mean, I kind of wish this wasn't split, but even in the physical release, I'm like, of course it was split because that's just the way books work. Still, that is incredible. Like, this feels very cinematic. Right, I just want to save my friend. The future of humanity, it's too much for me. And I think that's fair. Like, if destiny falls into your lap, you're not obligated to take it and try to fix the world. Like, if someone else is better suited for it, I think it's perfectly fine to pass it over. To be fair, I as a person believe that Alita is the one who is suited for this. Like, I do think she is the one who will give the last order eventually. But I do appreciate her perspective on this. Right. Perhaps Arthur and I failed because you tried to shoulder too much responsibility. Like, I can't get over how good this is as a perspective. This idea of not taking on too much. It's something that is so simple, yet I think a lot of people could benefit from learning about that. Myself included, honestly. Like, right now, I can't say I've taken on too much at all in any aspect of my life, but in the past, I've definitely taken on jobs that I was not suited for, and I couldn't, like, say that I wasn't suited for it. Your friend is waiting. Oh boy, alright. Now the cover is reality. Giant rock/digital body. Phase 58, don't be a hero. Alright, it's time for some hacker versus hacker battling. So Captain Body was my hero, even though we lived such different lives. I relate so deeply with him. He really does feel like a modern, like, pie-in-the-sky hacker boy. Someone who is just hacking for the sake of ideals. And oh man. My dead pal used to say, immortality is a manga artist without deadlines. Without deadlines, the manga artist will never get the job done. In the same way, we hid from the inconvenient truths, and now we're paying for it. The world had become an awful place with my old hero, the worst final boss of them all. Oh, man. Wow, that's a heavy idea. Oh, yeah. And there's nothing else I want to do. I can definitely understand that. Like, even if you inherently understand, like, oh, immortality is kind of a curse. Like, you're not going to get stuff done. At the same time, like, right now, again, talking about my own personal life, I don't have any real deadlines right now because I'm still looking for a job. And I have to say, it like not having a time crunch, not having like pressure to do things makes it very easy to just like to end up in a limbo almost. A world in which you don't do stuff just because you don't have to. It's unhealthy and it's worrisome. And I have to imagine, if I didn't have to worry about food or water or my limited lifespan, then I'd probably waste decades, like literal decades of my life doing literally nothing. That's a really heavy thing to contemplate. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Oh boy, Ping, it's not a good look. This is not a good look for you, man. I mean, I'm glad he's helping, but oof. Maybe you should have taken a few more minutes to construct a bit of a better body. Alright, let's see how this goes. He's the only one in the solar system who can wage a real-time cyber battle with Trinidad. Man, like once they rescue Lou, like once they save her, and I assume they like put her brain into a cyborg body, she's gonna be absolutely freaked out by how much Alita had to do just to get her brain back. Especially because, again, she knows nothing of Alita. Like this is a Lou that is, I guess, theoretically 17 years old, or is it 18? It's whenever they become an adult in Tifferes. Like, wow, this is gonna be quite a trip. Okay. Oh, wow. This is such a cool idea. So in the process, we discovered that the living brains exchange data at the molecular level by quantum teleportation. Long ago, this was vaguely described as the collective unconscious. So Melchizedek is literally the soul of all mankind. Like, it is the collective unconscious. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like, I'm not a relatively spiritual person, but I do believe on some level in the collective unconscious, like the idea of people somehow without a direct connection being able to like understand things or like to come to the same conclusions. Like there are multiple layers of how you could describe this. Some people, like the most realistic idea is just that the like it's basically the collective conscious. The idea that we all see the same programs, we see the same cartoons, the same commercials. And as a result, not only do some of us have the same ideas, but some of us will still have like the same misconceptions. It's the idea behind the what do they call it again? It's like the Berenstain Bear / Berenstain Bear problem. There's a specific term for it, but I don't quite remember it. But like a lot of people buy into that because they look at it and they think, well, not like everyone can't have the same illusion. Like we can't all have made the same error, like the exact same error at the same time, all within the same few decades, but that's very possible. Now, that's not the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious is something closer to those points in history where, like, across the globe, two different people independently discovered the same thing at the same time. Like, that kind of thing. And I have no proof for the existence of that as a literal thing that exists, but I've always really enjoyed the concept of it, at the very least. An act of terrorism on Melchizedek is a treason against the entire human race. But right, like, is it really treason if you're attacking someone who is misusing it? Okay, what is he dropping in now? A triple-layer quantum-coated ice cube. Yeah, definitely not. Only one may define reality, and that is I, Trinidad. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. It's a pirated copy of the attack. This is so cool. Like, again, I really like characters who believe they're scum. Like, they know that they are less than. They believe themselves to be trash, but at the same time, they don't use that as an excuse for giving up. Rather, they use their disposability as a means to an end, to fight for their greater beliefs. Those guys will be able to let some air into the screwed up world. You'd never understand, even in 1,000 years, just like you'd never understand the hopes of an insect with a life cycle of a single day. There are so many good quotes in this. Like, I'm finding it genuinely difficult to say some of these because, like, as I'm saying them, I'm trying to process the actual concept behind it, and some of these ideas are so big and so cool. Like, for most of these videos, I do try to include one quote in my description. That goes for the original Alita as well as for Last Order, but I think I've been more sloppy about it for Last Order. And there's so many good ones already, and we're only a few chapters in to this volume. Oh no. Alright, so I see he's setting in the troops to kill him directly. Yep. I do think he could have survived, though. Like, maybe he made a backup. I mean, if Destiny Nova can have, like, 5 different backups of himself, if he can have a literal nanomachine, thing in the atmosphere that will revive him constantly forever, then, come on. Our boy Weasel here can create, like, 1 copy of himself on the internet, right? Come on. Okay. So, I see. I guess this must have been part of their plan. Like, I don't know if he specifically asked them to come, or if they did it independently. I can't imagine they did it independently. Like, they are... It's not that I don't think they're competent, but just... They didn't seem that connected to the plan, outside of, hey, let's be a big distraction. In any case, I'm happy they're here, don't get me wrong. When trouble strikes, called in the tuned. Okay, so it's Pocket Destiny that did it. She's Ping's ex. Okay. Not another of your insane stunts. Alright, I mean, Ping has more than pulled his weight at this point. But I can't imagine that Alita can fight Trinidad on her own via hacking. Definitely not. So it's got to be some other... They have to be able to fight on some other level. Access denied. Ooh, okay, Holy Grail's been activated. And all because they used the Fata Morgana. Alright, so he can't do anything else here. Okay. Something got vaporized. What's going on? Oh, fair enough. Oh, I didn't consider that. Yeah. Zeex can just by virtue of fighting, he can turn this into a big controversy. Like, the creator, like, the man who was running the Zots sent a bunch of private troops in to attack the Space Angels. And he can't say anything else about it. Like, he can't tell the truth because that also reveals a bunch of horrible stuff he doesn't want to let out. Oof, okay. Yeah, I guess they just have to go back into the tournament for now. If you cause a scene and get kicked out, the female fans of the solar system will all cry. Thank you, base Jack Duranvo. I think it would be better if he goes back into the tournament right now. Okay, what is this? What is this fresh hell? He's my guest. Okay. So, I assume we've got a pinch hitter in now. The way I said that sounds wrong. Pinch hitter. Anyways, he's called in reinforcements is what I'm trying to say. Big, strong. This guy's design looks really cool, I've gotta say. Also, the 3 dots on his head, yeah, aliens don't exist, so this has to be a modified human. 3 dots kind of remind me of the 3 chip formation on Trinidad's brain. So, maybe there's a connection there, maybe not. The master martial artist of legend, Zeka. Okay. That's so cool! I love it! Like, it's so cute and it's so silly, but it's also so cool. Growing at supersonic speed. Okay, they're compound eyes. Oh, no, these are compound eyes. I don't know what these are still. Sensors, probably. He's registered as an original member of Toji's Space Karate Forces. Okay, what's the essential quality of a true warrior for him? A true warrior is a paragon of manhood, and the ideal of any man is destruction. Kill the guys you don't like. Race all over the planet all over the place on a huge bike. Have a hot babe to yourself. Put simply, environmental destruction. Oh my god. A real man creates nothing. Not one blade of grass grows where he has walked. Man, this is the definition of toxic masculinity. Which is actually a really interesting thing to bring up now. Because Zeex has clearly been like, he's getting more and more used to the idea of identifying as a guy. And now we have the ultimate destructive manly man, which has been like, this is sort of Zeex's new end goal. If his original goal back when he joined the series was to be like, just Alita, or maybe better Alita. Now his current goal is just like, he's going to try and be himself, but his idea of himself is this manly guy who beats the crap out of people and is just awesome. And this is like, this is the ultimate version of that. So two things can happen. Either this catapults Zeex down that path as he realizes, okay, that's what I want to be, or I want to be that but better, or I am already better. Or alternatively, this could be where he turns back and decides, okay, maybe I need to get a little less edgy. I will say, though, this is one heck of a speech. Okay, he's an anarchist. Oh no, I was about to respect him for a minute there. Something just came over me. Zeex is a precious, precious man. Alright, let's see how... Ooh, okay. Huh. What just happened there? Also, by the way, I did have it cleared up for me that when I thought Zeex was like firing some liquid out of the Fizzroid body, it was more of just his arm like stretching really far and then coming back. Like Luffy from One Piece. So I imagine this is the same thing, but it was blocked. If he stopped my punch before it even reached top speed, then that sonic boom came from his block. Okay. What? Oh my god, are we doing this? Are we doing a thumb wrestling chapter? Oh my god. Alita never fails to be surprising and amazing. Oh my god. That is 1 in 10 starts of the thumb wrestling. Okay, he also has a Fizzroid body. Alright, we're hammering in this comparison. Okay, and Zeex's version is it is the better model. Like, it is the latest model. His is an older one. I've reached supersonic speed while motionless. Huh. So maybe this is tying into the title of the chapter, which was growing at supersonic speed. That's what I'm thinking he's referring to then. Like, even if he's staying still, he has the power to grow and to adapt and change at supersonic speed. That's the only thing I can think of. I can't imagine what else he could mean by supersonic speed while motionless. That feels kind of like a Zen cone. Like, it's two things that are not compatible, and you have to figure out how they're compatible. Oh, once you figure out what that means, you'll be able to handle your Fizzroid body a little better. Like, not just you'll learn something about life, or you'll become a true man. Specifically the Fizzroid body, so it has to be related to that. In that case, if the Fizzroid body is it's liquid that is hyper compressed, maybe the liquid in Zeex's body is standing still, but the liquid in his body moves at supersonic speed. And because of that, because it's moving so quickly, he can rapidly take the momentum of that liquid and shunt it into part of his body. So, instead of having to use actuators to move his arm forward, it's more like just, there's this flow in his body, and he just suddenly stops it. And because of that, he transfers all that force into his arm? I could be on completely the wrong track, though. Oh my gosh. Also, when he's moving quickly, the resemblance to Alita gets a lot stronger. What? 10-1000. Okay, oh, he was holding out the thumb the entire time. Or no, not the entire time, because clearly it's still up. So, from here, he must have held it down. Oh my god. Like a fulcrum, he's using it to neutralize my attack. What in the world? He reversed it! What in the world? Oh my god. Yeah. Wow, Zeex is completely outmatched. It's almost funny how completely dominated he is in this fight. How old are you? 2. Oh, man. Yeah, 1 year and 5 months old. Should I say I'm 20 to seem normal? Nah. You don't have to bend for what they're saying. You're 2 years old and you're one of the coolest, hottest 2-year-olds I know. Please, no one isolate that audio. Okay. So he also has an artificial brain. Oh, and Zeex is the one who is growing at supersonic speed, not him. Rather, supersonic seems to be sort of his like catchphrase, or like the thing he likes to say a bunch. Okay. Not with Alita, with me? I don't care about anyone with a bust less than a B cup. He truly is a man's man. But yeah, again, this is something all your own. This is a rival that is entirely for Zeex, no Alita required. So of course, by his very nature, he's got to take it, right? Now I have to take you on. The greatest thumb wrestling match in the universe, round 3. I mean, I'm pretty excited for the live-action Alita movie, which seems like it's going to do either all of the first... I think it's mostly going to take like just the first half of the first series. But man, I hope it does well, because eventually, like, it would be an absolute fever dream to have Last Order adapted into live action. Which, honestly, I don't really want that. I'd take that back. I think that having Alita in live action is cool. I think it's a neat idea, and I'm excited for it. Don't get me wrong. But in general, especially with series like Alita, I don't really see the benefit in having it in live action apart from just more people will watch it. And that's fine. Don't get me wrong. I think that's fine. But in terms of just like artistic integrity, or in terms of being able to show incredibly cool things, I feel like animation is almost always better. Because you have fewer constraints. Like, you don't have to pull out like special effects and CG or like practical effects. Like everything, it's not that everything is equally easy to do, but it's substantially easier to do a lot of things. And you can still do CG in animation, obviously. So, as much as I would like the live-action Alita movie to do good and maybe have a sequel, I would mostly hope that it makes Alita popular enough that Last Order could get an anime adaptation. Or maybe all of Alita gets an anime adaptation and then Last Order. Because, like, as much as I love this thumb wrestling battle, I don't think it would be that exciting if it was done in live action. Like, it'd be exciting, but I think it would be a bit too goofy, sort of. Like, This is really riding the line between absolutely genuinely like heart-poundingly awesome and absurd. And I think that it being in live action would be a bit too absurd, and they might tone it down for the sake of, getting the audience to not feel like taken out of it. Though to be fair, if an audience could sit through all of Last Order in live action up to this point, including the entire vampire flashback, then I guess it wouldn't matter. Like, I guess you could do literally anything, and you'd expect that, yeah, the audience will buy it at this point. Like, no one's gonna jump into Last Order movie number 7. He ate it! He ate it! What in the world? Come on, get your thumb out of there! At 2 years old, the great Zeex beaten again! Oh? Oh my god. Mini Zeex has drawn graffiti all over the bike. Never mind, I take back everything I said before. I would love to see this in live action. Alright, I mean, he did manage to best him. This is definitely being bested. If not, like, physically, then at least his ego has been taken down a notch. Oh, poor Zeka, he'll never recover. Right, don't let your rival lay down the rules, a key point of any martial artists. Also, props for this effect. Alita's done this a few times, but I don't think I've ever pointed out how good it looks. Like, this is a very normal manga sort of smoke effect. But this, where I think it's gotta be digital, right? This smudging of what is already drawn there. It looks really, really good. Like, I've seen very few manga now you can think about it that do that. I've seen more more Western comics that have played around with something like this. And I guess like 1 or 2 manga, but it's pretty rare. Alright, Phase 61, unique in the world. We've got a brain. I assume this is Lou's brain then? Oh, that's actually kind of worrisome. Unique in the world. Because, like, they'll have her brain, but at the same time, if it gets destroyed, that's it. There's no more Lou anywhere else, like, except in their memories, of course. So, I think that might just be referring to how special that brain is. Not necessarily that it'll be destroyed, but just that, it is unique, that it is one of a kind. King was overcome by Trinidad. All right. He was a warped fellow, but in the end, he too was a warrior. Yeah, like, if he's done for the series, then I'm really glad he went out on that high note. But since they have his body and he's being taken care of, I think they'll be able to fix him up. Who is that? Oh no! Oh no! It's another! Oh no! It's another Destinova. We've got Afroform Nova now. Since other versions of me have since come into existence, I shall call myself Supernova. Okay. And yeah, this is very Nova. This is very fitting with his personality. You prefer order and I study chaos. Would you not be oil to my water? But yeah, as long as they stay out of each other's like super important business, it'd be fine. The final taboo, and you broke it. What does he mean by that? My skull is now equipped with 2 brain biochips, each running at full capacity. Oh no! We have parallel processing supernova. Oh boy, this is the ultimate of novas. Like, this is actually scarier than if Mr. Mombati, like, put in Nova's chip. Because I feel like if that was the case, Nova might be able to take over his brain, or like, screw him up. He might be able to lay, like, little traps in there for Alita to eventually win. But if this is just Nova times 2, or Nova with double capacity, then there's nothing stopping him. Secare Deum, to cut and separate the deity, a heresy. Oh boy. If I want, I can kill all 2,000 brains, or 20,000 brains inside. Okay, who are we getting now? Who can stand up against the supernova? Oh no! Oh no! Too many novas! Nova X at Tifferas. Oh boy. I wonder if we can separate these into the ego, the superego, and the we'll see after we hear a little more from them, because so far we do have like Pocket Nova, we have Supernova, and we have Flan Nova. 3 against 1. Also, this means we have 2 Novas versus potentially, a Nova that is also 2 Novas. Alright, the odds have been evens. The Tifferas redevelopment bill. The official ladder view is that there are no survivors on the surface of Tifferas. So if they want to use it again, they're going to have to eliminate everyone first. God damn. Alright, that's a way to raise the stakes, that's for sure. I was worried about how they would go from here, but nope, we have a pretty clear problem now. Right, the top team will be named a Commonwealth. So all she has to do is the Space Angels have to win, and after that, I don't know if she can say the entire surface or just Tifferas. I guess it would be way cooler if she said the entire surface. Like, yes, the whole surface is a Commonwealth. Rough stuff again when a gentlemanly trade would suffice. The brain inside the F-box. Liz brain, will you swap for it? It won't be a fair trade if I hold my tongue, so I'll tell you. Okay, so my immediate thoughts, I have 2 thoughts. One is, like, the most important brain in the entire series. The one that I keep bringing up is Alita's. Like, her brain has the highest, I forget how he explained it, but like, it has the most karmatronic potential. It is literally the brain of the main character. So if he had it, and he was able to like install his chips into that brain, then he would be the main character. Like, he would be the one whom all karma like revolves around. So that's my biggest guess. The second one, because we have so many Novas here, I feel like it would be dumb to not say it could be Nova, like the original Nova brain. And then he can become a Trinidad of his own with 1 brain and 2 chips. That is Alita's brain. What? Okay, so when I brought up the brain thing, I didn't really consider how that would work, but yeah, that makes sense. The biochip in your skull is just like me in the AR series. So this Alita is like, theoretically, that's so cool, because on one end, she is functionally the same as Zeex now. Like, they're even more parallel than they were before, because now she doesn't have that bonus of being the main character. And I keep saying that, but I Just that phrasing makes me so happy. So I'd like to keep on using it. But it also means that like, oh wow, now she has to deal with it. Oh my god, she has to deal with the struggle that everyone in Tifra has had to deal with. Like, I was always a little weirded out by that as sort of the intro to Last Order. I figured that the mangaka was a bit weirded out by how he had to jump into the new series, and so he started off with something that kind of tied into the old series as a transition into what he really wanted to do with Ketheriz. But oh my god, now it makes sense. That was all to show Alita, like, hey, the idea of not having your brain, the idea of just having a biochip instead, you didn't consider that to be a problem, but that's because you didn't have to deal with that problem. Now you do. Now oh yes. I saw what's in your skull, Alita. Whether the brain is organic or a biochip, just a replica. This F-box contains the most precious substance in the world. Oh my god. How did I not think of it when he said that? After, in Last Order, he specifically said that Alita's brain was the most precious thing in the world, and now, thought you were a Robocat. Because he couldn't sense, like, an actual brain there. Oh my god. It all clicks together. Oh my god. So much foreshadowing, too. Like, these are all the big ones, but I have to imagine there was a lot of other stuff that came up. Yeah, your brain for Lou's not a bad deal at all. Can she walk the walk? Like, is she willing to say, oh yeah, I'm me, like, this chip is me, right? This is beautiful. Okay, so if you've ever read the works of Nobuyuki Fukumoto, he's the guy who did Kaiji, Akagi. The current series running right now, the anime, I should say, Tonegawa, isn't his, but it's based on his work. He's well known for stuff like this, like very exaggerated character designs, and then he's really good at doing like wiggly versions of those character designs to show like the trauma going through their brains, like them trying to process all this information, everything around them becoming hazy. And I won't say this is as good as Fukumoto's art when it comes to this kind of thing, but it's pretty close. There's this very visceral impact of, oh yeah, now you know what Alita's feeling right now. And how Alita responds to this revelation will be captivating. They're evil after all. I was a fool to think Nova could ever be an ally. I think he can be, though. Like, I think they're all the same person, so they're all blown away with the idea of this. And to be fair, I'm also blown away. Like, I don't want them to have Alita's brain, but I'm also shaken by the possibilities. And pain is back. Didn't I warn you that the truth would forever change you, that you would have no home left? Caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. Oh my god, what a reveal. I'm genuinely speechless. I feel like this is going to be kind of cut up because I tend to cut out pauses when I do my edits after recording, but oh my god. Wow. It all ties together so beautifully. I'm not a robot. Even if my brain is a biochip and my body is machine, I am human. Alright. So, that's it. Alita's brain is being swapped in. Right. Would you give up so easily the only flesh and blood you have? I mean, even that, like, it is fully artificial. It's not really flesh and blood. But at the same time, like, it is hers. Can she really give it up? I do think that, like, if she goes back down to the surface, all the people who know and love her are still going to know and love her. It doesn't matter if she has a brain or not, but I am someone who has a brain inside of his skull, as far as I know. So I don't think I can fully relate to the sheer heartbreaking reveal here. Like, oh my god. Your death will change little. After all, your brain is still alive. And this is true. Like, it is true in the sense that this Alita, the Alita we have followed ever since, like, basically the start of Last Order, she could die right here, right now. And the series could still go on with an Alita, with the original Alita even. And yet that feels so wrong. Alright, Phase 62, Darkness of Absolute Zero. This is the final chapter of the volume, so I have to imagine it's going to be pretty, like, either it's going to be really big or it's kind of an epilogue, since I don't think anything can get bigger than this. This was the big chapter for this volume. Darkness of Absolute Zero reminds me a lot of when she, in the original series, when she was trying not to become a member of the Toons project. when she was in her own like mental room as her brain was dying, and she said, well, you know what, I don't care, I guess I'm just gonna die here, this is where it ends, and she was like freezing over. I think that's what this is going to be sort of a callback to, the darkness of Absolute Zero, of like this pure freezing cold. The Imaginos body is decaying. Yeah, like it. And that's, oh my gosh, that's probably also why she had that weird desync with it, where like she couldn't fully use it to its full potential, because it wasn't really her brain the entire time. Like, there's so many other things that had explanations, but now that I know this, I feel like they could have, like, this could tie into them as well, as, like, if not the real explanation, then as a, like, as an additional points. And yeah, it is the Imaginos body. So, she's gone, like, not just in terms of physical damage, but in terms of, like, her mental states. Now that she... Oh, man. This is really cool, though, because it means that we now technically have an Alita that we don't have to see for a while. Like, assuming we're switching perspectives. We might not. We might just keep following this Alita, but I think we might follow the brain Alita for a bit. Like, as Nova does whatever it is he wants to do with that brain. And in the meantime, like, we can have this Alita do stuff in the background until eventually she shows up as herself. And I think that's really cool because, like, it won't be like the tuned system, where with the tuned ones, they were like, they all knew they were copies. Like, they may have problems with it, sure, but overall, like, they could consider themselves to be different people, especially as we've seen with Zeex. But I think it's going to be a lot more difficult for Alita to do it, especially this Alita, because, like, her self-image of who she is and who she was, the idea that she was Yoko and now, or yeah, like, she is Yoko, she is Alita. She just came to terms with that. And now she has to struggle with this, the idea that she is not either of those people. Or rather, she is, but there's another her somewhere else. A more real her, in quotation marks. That's real heavy. That is incredibly heavy. If that's the case, Deum Seca. Alright. So Pocket Nova's just dead. Great, I guess. And Tifera's Nova's gone. Alright, so A Nova is now the big bad once again. And I do like that they brought up that, like, the fact that he's using two chips at the same time is skewing his minds. Like, this is a more villainous Nova than otherwise, than we would normally anticipate from a Nova clone. I didn't expect Alita to be beaten so easily, ignoring how he's partially to blame. Yeah, that's actually an interesting thing to note. Why are there 11? Like, why not 12? Especially here, it looks like there should have been one there. When I was a little boy, there were 12. Wait a minute. Did we see that in the series? I don't think so. I think we saw someone trying to climb one of those, but I don't think we saw it fall. Did you evolve from a kid? Okay. At night, countless meteors lit up the sky. It was a terrible time. We thought the world was ending. Oh, and that's one heck of a story. All that is created one day crumble. Nothing is eternal. Not even Tifera's. That's one heck of a thing to reveal. Like, because when we were in the scrapyard for all of the original series, it did feel like Tifera's was the end-all be-all. Like, it is just the ultimate oppressive figure. It is the big bad / the world of angels, basically. Like, this world far above everything else. And now we know that not only is it just, the lower half of something much bigger, but even it can one day fall. That is, wow. And this is, I believe this is the scrap area. I forget the actual name for it, but it's the area where we got Ping out of. I too wish to see your dream come true, and yet... Oh... Alright, so maybe we are going to continue to follow this Alita. Like, they're going to put her back together. The Robo-Cat entrusted with your dreams has been destroyed. Oh, and that makes so much more sense, like, that they keep bringing up the cat thing with Alita now. I didn't fully get it until right now, but that's a really cool way to differentiate them, because originally, Alita did have this very, cat-like feeling to her. And now we can separate them into the one with a human brain and the one with a, like a biochip, which I don't feel good about saying that people with biochips are less than human. Like that, but I do like this idea from the robot perspective of, you know, this is the same as like a robo-cat. Right, and there's no actual physical damage. It's all her mind. It's the fact that her psyche has been shattered. The god of robot kind, the great Melchizedek himself, is here. Oh my god. Okay, one of the 25 units which make up Melchizedek. Okay, so this is Arthur. Bring the Fata Morgana. Okay, so yeah, like, he can't fix her. He can't raise the dead, but she's not dead, and she's not destined to go back to nothingness. Like, it's all up to her. All he can do is call out to her and hope that he does that she does the rest. Ah, behold, visions of the people who have placed their trust in you. The strong, the weak, the humble and the noble, the living and the dead. Oh my god. Like, how are we only just past the halfway points? We've come so very, very far. Even this, like, almost chibi version of Den because of the lack of detail. Oh my god. Right. Though the flesh may perish and the spirit fade, the molecular vibration their lives emitted will reverberate all across the universe forever. Your battle is also their battle. I have a new definition of a human being. Oh my god. Just as the primordial flame once flickered in the darkness of absolute zero, you must live once more. And yeah, that's it. I didn't even look at that. Oh my god. What a way to end a volume. Like, and I know that the English release, if this, like, in the Viz version, I assume that they must have had, like, translation stuff at the end, but wow, I wish this would just be, like, the absolute ends. Just a tiny little papoom. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Alright, so that is Battle Angel Alita, Last Order, Volume 10, and what a volume it was. We grappled with so much stuff, I don't think I have time to really talk about the sheer scope of everything. I mean, I feel like you could write many, many books just on the things we brought up in this volume. The creation of Supernova was pretty cool, I guess. But this is really like the ultimate final place, or not final place, but it's the culmination of everything we've been bringing up until this point. It's like, this is the finale of what it means to be Alita. Like, now she is no longer the person with that brain. She isn't Alita nor Yoko, or she is, but she doesn't have that connection to them. That last vestigial, that part of her that was the main character, to use that again, is gone. Like, it is no longer part of her. And yet, still, even as a chip, she has to reconstitute herself. She has to move forward. And I think this is actually going to be... Oh, wow, I just realized. Alita is Lou, in a sense, in the same way that the Lou that they're going to bring up is, like, not a Lou that lived through the experiences of the original Battle Angel Alita. Like, it's basically just a complete reset. It's basically someone completely different. In the same way, if the original Alita, like the Alita of her brain, if she manages to become conscious once more, then she will be like that in the sense that she has not experienced the events of Last Order. She will be, like, set back in terms of her character development. They could do so many cool things with that. Especially because now that there's two of them, one of them can die. Like, because of the nature of her brain, I have to imagine the chip Alita will eventually die. Like, if one of them has to survive, it has to be Brain Alita, because she has all the Karmatrons. Oh, wow. There are so many possibilities now. Like, I'm so excited for what this could possibly mean for Zeex. Now that he has an Alita that he can compete with, who doesn't have, like, that bonus of being the original. Like, she is Alita, but she's not the original. She is just someone else with a similar situation to his. Oh. Okay, I'm starting to ramble on. I don't want to keep you guys any longer than I have to, so thank you so much for watching. Let's leave it on these two black pages. We'll see what happens with that Papoom next time. So bye for now. Nya nya.